Yeah, I think it is that injecting and starting, and it's overcoming some of those fears and some of those, dare I say, ignorance, and that's natural ignorance because you don't know it. And then also maybe just offering that little bit of guidance because it's interesting hearing the number of startups and the number of consulting companies putting the word Gen AI in front of everything. I'm expecting a Gen AI coffee machine very, very soon, if not a Gen AI pen at the same time. It's interesting because I've seen someone talking about retention models the other day in insurance brokerages, and you and I, OG, were doing that back in 2015 using ordinary AI and data analytics, but this is now going to be able to buy it. So slightly naughty. Let's assume those individuals are learning as well. But look, we don't want you to have to suddenly understand those things, and work through what is real and what's not real. So everything like that's in the book. And we've divided it down into what I would describe as, OG, a taker, maker, and shaper philosophy. And by that, we mean there's a lot of, on the taking side, it's fair to say, OG, a lot of tools that you can just lift off of the shelf for $20 a month that you can give to employees to immediately make them a little bit more productive. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about those?
Yes. So I think this is really important to look at how you want to start AI, right? So as we said, it's very complex. And by the way, in the book, there's a lot of practical guides to help you build a business case, to understand how to build a COE, to help you understand even how to maximize your prompts, right? So we've tried to be as practical, as tangible as possible, to learn what to do and what not to do. But yet the approach here is, I think, quite easy, right? So nowadays, as you said, for $20 a month, you can pretty much get a GPT-4. By the way, GPT-4 Turbo has been announced. Exciting. But the point being here is, this is how we advise everyone to start, right? You don't want to start with the monster project. You want to enable yourself, and by the way, your organization, to really understand how to maximize what you are doing, including your productivity, using a consumer version of the AI, right? So this is typically the first level, the first layer. It's not truly enterprise grade, but it is really helping with the change management, with people getting to do it, getting to understand the value, right? So that's typically the first level. $20, let's say you are like 20, 30 employee in your company, it's a reasonable, very reasonable investment. It's going to 2x, 3x, some of the work you are doing. So that's typically what we advise people to do, right? To
Yeah.
start with this, not create the monster project straight away. Start with this, understand how it works, and then move to the next level. So, Kian, what is the next level?
Well, here, before we leave this level, look, just a couple of things, and we put this into the book as well. There is a layer of caution around this as well, because those off the shelf taking applications like Bing, Bard, Gemini, Calendly, tools like Canva with AI built in and everything else, allow people to be a lot more productive, produce better quality work, and innovate a lot quicker. And we've seen that ourselves in the projects that we've implemented in small, medium, and international businesses. Imagine if you'd 100 people and all of a sudden you could make them 30, 40% more productive. The quality of the work goes up by 30%, and their actual innovation number ideas that they come up with goes between 30 and 50%. We've implemented those things in businesses and they're real. But there is a layer of caution in there as well, in that you wouldn't put your public IP into those models. That's not what those taker applications are for. To your point, OG, what's next? Well, this is the bit where you level up that little bit more without putting millions in from day one, because there is Gen AI muscle and experience that you need to build inside of your business. And part of that is writing AI policies and making sure that you educate everyone from the board down throughout the organizations as to the benefit and the risks. And that's something we do as well. We're constantly delivering education sessions and master classes to boards and exec, senior team, and people throughout organizations. And that helps them get started in a responsible, risk-free, secure manner as well. So now we started with taker, now we're into maker. And this is the little bit where you start to move up your layer of your generative organizational goal to create that generative organization that allows you to win out in your marketplace. And here we're talking about actually buying into tools like IBM Watson X, or we're looking at Amazon Bedrock, again, a collection of generative AI models. And what's different about these tools is that all of a sudden they're in the cloud. You don't have to buy that infrastructure. You don't have to build those large language models. You're plugging in and accessing available large language model and infrastructure and processing capabilities. But what you are doing is putting up your IP into those models, and you can do it securely. So Microsoft Azure, very secure application, as are the others that I mentioned. So there's no risk of you losing your data or it becoming part of the bigger corpus out there as well. And that's something you need to do securely. So no building infrastructure, no building large language models, protecting your IP. That's the maker level where someone else has made the large language models. You're just augmenting and adding on top of those. What about after that, OG? So we started with Taker. You buy the $30 apps, give everybody those and teach them how to use them. We're up to Maker, where you and I have built project sites for enterprises across the globe, where you plug into available large language models in a secure way. Now we're up to Shaper. Now we're up to big international global businesses that have a lot of cash to spend. Why do people move to the Shaper level?
Well, if you are the maker level, what you can do using those off-the-shelf capabilities and platforms, you can augment that by fine-tuning using your own data, as you said, and that's fairly safe. So you can protect your IP, you can start fine-tuning, but then you're gonna have some limits, right? You will pretty much do what everyone else is doing. Now, if you're into really building a competitive advantage, i.e., really building IP, for example, you want to augment, you're a consulting firm and you want to augment your consultant with superpower so that they are, you know, smarter, faster, and you know, better than everyone else. Now you need to start building your own version of LLM that is going to be tailored, that is going to be customized, that is going to be isolated from the rest, right? So what you do here is you typically start training and tweaking in LLM using obviously your own capabilities, right? So that requires significant investment in, for example, GPUs, right? You might need to have tens of thousands of dollars of hardware in order to correctly train. But what this is giving you is a unique version of AI that is trained with your own data, that is tailored, and that can be pretty much embedded everywhere, right? So it does not sit in any cloud. It sits in wherever you want. It's yours. You're the only one to have it. And if you really come up with a model that really gives you an edge, then you're going to be winning on the market, right? So I said consultant. This company now is looking at also augmenting their salespeople, right? There's a company looking at how they can augment all kinds of function with this superpower that will be unique to the company and that will really differentiate those people, human plus AI, versus the rest of the market. So obviously, in order to do that, we talk about, you know, very large amount of investment, very large effort, but that is giving you an extra level of capability versus the regular, you know, fine tuning of a ChatGPT type of capability.
Yeah, it's also giving you a range of additional security benefits as well. So OG and I are working with some banks and some financial services companies who can't and won't allow their data to be put into the cloud full stop. It's in their literal data center. And therefore, we've been working with them to make sure that's secure and not crossing the internet in any shape, form, or other. And as OG mentioned as well, look, it's not just a case of us bringing them further forward with generative AI, because that truly is transformative. But as OG mentioned, we're talking about human and digital workers working together to create a generative organization where now you can have that productivity boost, where you can be more innovative, where you can get better quality work at a rate of knots, where you can get robots and humans working together to put really great decision insight and really great tooling in front of customers and staff as well, to make sure that your organization really, really rockets every minute of every day in a really responsible way. So look, the book is practical. The book's been written with real world experience, real world mistakes, real world expertise worked through. And on top of the book, there's something else that OG and I have done. We have created a 50 prompt guide in addition for all those people who go and buy the book. take a picture with it, put it on their social media, and then let us know that they've done that. We'll bring that additional value to you at no extra cost whatsoever. OG.
So what I want to say is, and this is really how I looked at this, right? There's a lot of things that I keep saying to my clients over and over again because it's value for them. And and at some point I said, okay, all those concepts, all those advices that I give to those clients, you hear me saying, be tech agnostic, outcome is king, all these kind of things. It's all in the book. And what we wanted to do here is to take those, things that we keep saying to the client, put them in the book so it serves as a reference, right? And the way the book is structured, you can always go back, jump, and there's a concept here, there's an advice, there's a guide, you can go in it, you can look at it, right? So it's a book that you read more than once. That's what I want to say, right? And to close here, as Kayan said, right? So what we did is, on top of the book, we wrote this ebook that is very interesting because it's giving a lot of examples of how to do proper prompting when using a ChatGPT-like technology, right? So the deal here is, if you want this ebook, on top of the book, here is the game, right? You get the book, you take a picture of yourself with the book, you post it on social network, LinkedIn, for example, and then you tag us, and guess what? We'll send you that ebook for free, right? And that's really the idea here. You understand we are trying to make a bit of noise. We feel this is cool. So the best and coolest picture of yourself with the book will maybe win even a prize. But the point here is do that, post, and we'll send you the ebook. Which is by itself a book, right? I think the ebook is even by itself a book now.
Yeah, it starts to get scary, doesn't it? The amount of value that we're actually giving away here. People may never need to hire us ever again. But look, you and I have the same philosophy. If you give away a lot of value, you will gain a lot of value as well. So look, we recommend the book, The A to Z of Generative AI, A Guide to Leveraging AI for Business by Kieran Gilmurray and Olivier Gomez. I wish you every success.